This is a special session. Oh, my mobile phone. Oh, that's a special session that we have today. The first time, and very likely we are going to continue it from this time on. It's the Christos Nikolaou Memorial Award for Best PhD thesis in service computing. Let me tell you a little bit about Christos Nikolaou. Some of you know, most of you know Christos Nikolaou. So Christos Nikolaou was a computer scientist. He got a PhD in Harvard, and I learned today that Christos knew Christos for a long time. I met Christos Nikolaou mid of the 90s, although not knowing it, because he was a manager of one IBM colleague, Don Ferguson, who is a smart guy but a bastard, and I wanted to kill his projects. So Christos Nikolaou remembered me, but I didn't remember him. And when we met it was in 2004, because the EU was asking a couple of people that are active in the area of service computing across Europe to build a lighthouse project. Right? And the University of Crete has been asked to be a member, myself has been asked to be a member of this lighthouse project, and University of Tilburg, Mike Papazoglu, and then we collected other people, and then we got funding for 5 years. It was far more than 20 million. It was excellent. And one of the charter was to guarantee sustainability, and one action to generate sustainability was to create SummerSOC, a summer school for PhD on service computing. Right? And as long as we had money from the EU, we had, believe it or not, close to 200 from time to time participants here in Crete. And then, of course, after 5 years, when the money has been spent with the EU, it decreased. So that we used the IMSE master course in order to keep the SummerSOC alive, and now we are using PhD graduate schools that we have to keep it alive. And Christos, as I said before, was one of the co-founders. It was his idea to create SummerSOC because he was always very interested in academic, in young people from academia, and nurture them. And he was a very nice practical computer scientist, always interested in new applications. And this is how the current shape really came into life, right? To educate people, this is why we had tutorials, to bring people together to do networking. This is why we have this lengthy lunch breaks. And many of us became friends to Christos. And then at the sudden, he died last year, last May, right? It was last May or April? Last April. So then discussions came up. Well, this was a shock for most of us, and you students who still know, and we were also in shock. And then we basically said, well, what can we do in order to honor him, to memorize him? And I think it was you also said you need to have a PhD award. And then I said, it's an excellent idea, we will find funding for the PhD award. And I wanted to look around in Germany, but Joerg said, no, it must be done by a Greek company, and he found a Greek sponsor. I mentioned the Greek sponsor when I passed you the certificate. And then we had an advertisement for the PhD award. We got quite a bunch of applications, and we have a nomination committee. It was headed by Wolfgang, a bunch of service computing guys who took them a look at the submissions, and we ranked them. And what we also did is we asked Theo Herder, who is a German famous computer scientist, because he's also granting PhD awards in the area of databases, to take a look what we are doing. Are we neutral enough? Could Theo also say, okay, yeah, this is a good thesis? So we selected Joerg's thesis, and Theo did confirm that. And this is why Joerg Lenhard now received the and the PhD award comes with money. 2,000 euros from the sponsor. This is important. Yeah, but the honor is okay, but money is also good. Right? It's not too bad. And so we printed this. We were discussing whether this certificate, why not doing the following years? Wolfgang must come here, because Wolfgang will have been the chair of the PhD award. Guido, you have to come too. Somebody else has to take. Then I will take pictures, because you are the first supervisor. I assign jobs. Yeah. Oh, he's taking pictures. Yeah, okay. Who's taking pictures? Here we do it. Wait a second. Looks ugly.
Picture taker.
Professional, okay.
You can take one.
So I read it. Certificate. The PhD Award Committee of the Symposium and Summer School on Service-Oriented Computing bestows Dr. Joerg Lenhard the first Christos Nikolaou Memorial PhD Award 2016 for his thesis, which is also the title of his talk, Portability of Process-Aware and Service-Oriented Software, Evidence and Metrics, Resource, June 28, 2015, signed by Frank and Wolfgang. So this way, Jorgos, the most important thing. You need to see it.
You know it's the cat.
Then you. Okay. I'm close here. So, and now I'm looking for a few words on. A few words on Joerg.
No, now you have to do it again.
For YouTube and Facebook and so. Also, he's otherwise, we end the session.
The same picture.
Wolfgang, lächeln.
Thank you. So, and by the way, this is fund is sponsored by a startup company called StarTech Ventures out of Athens. And the founder of the company is a former student of Christos, and he felt immediately that he said, okay, I'm going to sponsor it. Right? So, thank you. Now, I need to be honest, I didn't write this up. A few words to Joerg. So, Joerg studied business informatics